Welcome everyone to another episode of Maybe You Should Talk. It is the podcast about nothing and everything. And as always, I am one of your hosts, John Para. And I'm joined, as always, by my brother and co-host,
Baba.
And on today's episode, we are back. But before we get into that, though, man, I have to address that because I've noticed that I get called out when I don't do that intro in that specific manner. People like when I go on today's episode. I feel like that's our thing, Jay.
That's your thing. That's all.
Fair enough. But we're a team, though.
We are.
It's a team effort.
Absolutely.
So what's mine is yours.
That's like the buffer from the boxing. You know,
that's right. That's right.
You got called out.
I got called out one time because I didn't do it for an episode. I forgot which one it was. But I got called out at work. They were like, "Why didn't you do it?" I'm like, "Damn, I didn't know that was a thing." So,
well, people listening.
Hey, man, they are.
Shouts to them. Shout to them. Thank you.
Shout outs to them, man. But more importantly, Jay, we're back. Season 2, man. How are you feeling?
Feeling great, man. Happy to be back. Happy to be back. Excited to be back. You know,
yeah,
took a
man.
little vacation. We all took a vacation.
we took a vacation, so it's been about maybe I would say a month since we last recorded, right?
About, give or take, a month.
Yeah, about a month. And I think it was a necessary break, man, because I think for the most part, between our full-time jobs and for the new people that are tuning in, so my boy Jay is a barber, hence the name Jay Barber. And
yeah,
I work in
last
HR.
name.
Yeah, it's not. His last
As much as people want that, it's not my last name.
Yeah, we always have to establish that. Which, for the record, by the way, I still get people that were fans of Jay the Barber.
We're not bringing that up. Season 2, new year. Let's go.
New year. We're not going to talk about it because people.
About that. That's it.
I've gone stopped.
Yeah,
I've gone stopped multiple times.
You. It ain't changing. If people voted once, you get one vote.
Well, that's what I say. I'm like, unfortunately, you didn't vote the first time, and that was your miss. You know. Go. You should have voted the first time, and now it's Jay Barber, so we have to stick with that, man. But how was your holidays, man?
Holidays were good, man. It was fun.
Yeah.
Low key. It was low key. Stayed in for New Year's, Christmas. Got together with fam. Did the whole shenanigans, The
whole shenanigans.
It was fun. Yeah. Christmas Spanish shenanigans.
This was
Christmas Eve, not Christmas Day.
Oh, Christmas Eve. Gotcha. That's right.
Latin America, 24.
That's right. For sure. Yeah. 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 For the record, a lot of Spanish people celebrate Christmas on Christmas Eve. So typically the tradition is you stay up, and you typically have dinner like around 8, 9 o'clock?
Yeah.
Right?
Typical Spanish time.
Typical Spanish time. And then you open presents at midnight.
At midnight, 12 on the dot.
12 on the dot. You start opening up presents. I don't think I've ever opened up presents as a kid on Christmas Day, unless it was gifts that were not given to me during Christmas Eve.
Fair. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
It's crazy, man. Time is flying. I actually got sick during Christmas Eve. When it was my first time getting sick during the holidays.
Gotta get you some sea moss, bro.
Yeah, man, it was terrible. I ended up getting the flu, which means I was knocked out Christmas Eve into Christmas Day for about a week. Terrible.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty rough.
Couldn't see any family. Yeah, couldn't see any friends. And I've always said, man, if you could survive the holidays on your own, you could survive anything, bro.
You're built tough, bro.
Yeah. Like Ford. We're not sponsored by Ford, by the way, so
yeah.
We're gonna have to take that one back. But yeah, man.
You might hear a beep. You might hear a beep.
Yeah, we might have to take that one back. And for the record, too, if you see me slunched over on my chair, it's not that. Well, I guess I could say that
he's promoting bad posture.
Yeah. We're working on improving the setup. So for a lot of people that don't know, I'm actually recording in my bedroom, and there's an AC unit right behind this chair right here. So I can't move further back than that. So if I'm hunched over, it's because I'm trying to get closer to the mic. I'm working on getting to the level of my boy Jay Barber here, who in the first season upgraded his studio. And I think you still have a couple more things you want to do. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, just look at my background. Looks like I'm in a construction room over here.
So
we're still under heavy renovations. Please excuse my my current appearance. It will be fixed. in the before you know it will. We're working on it.
I'm surprised, you know, because typically you usually have, you know, something Giants related in the back. And you know, if you're okay with it, I know last night.
It's right here.
There we go. What do you got, man? Tell the listeners what you got right now.
I got a Giants mug in my hand. You know, unfortunately we overachieved this season. Season came to an end last night. I wasn't disappointed in my squad. You know, as big as of a fan as I am, I feel like the future is going to be promising for us. You know, we weren't expected to get to where we did, and for that, I'm cool with it. You know, we didn't stand a chance versus the Eagles. They're stacked, bro. Those fucking birds.
You know, I think a lot of Giants fans were riding this high because we beat the Vikings the week before.
Absolutely. I mean, it was success that we haven't had in 6 years, bro. Like, you know, felt good to see New York winning again.
It was.
But we're in a rebuild stage, and hopefully this regime keeps moving in the direction that they're going, making the right moves, you know, drafting the right players and building the team how it should be. They put it together a season like this with a bunch of nobody, respectfully. You know?
Yeah. A lot of big time decisions that need to be made in the off season. But, you know, I think that's the one thing that I respect about you as a Giants fan is that you are, you know, neutral no matter what. You don't buy into what the media says. You don't buy into what the fans say. You're the only Danny Dom supporter since day one that I've known. So shout out to you, man.
Thank you. DJ's my quarterback, and he will remain in New York. Watch.
We're definitely going to get a bunch of DMs from fucking Giant fans about that one.
It's a 3-year deal, bro, guaranteed.
There we
go. Just let the Vikings win.
There we go.
100%.
Yeah. So, you know, Giants tough loss last night, but, you know, there's always next year. So we'll see what happens. So, you know, a couple other things sports related have happened since, you know, we've last spoken, man. Argentina won the World Cup. Messi got to lift the World Cup trophy, man. How do you feel about that?
Well, honestly, congrats to them, but I'm not really applauding Argentina. I'll applaud Messi because, you know, he did it. He got the chip off his back. You know, he completed his legendary career, bro. He's goated.
Yeah.
His conversation's over.
Yeah. And so the crazy thing, too, is that me and you were the biggest Ronaldo fans. So when Portugal lost, man, I was hurt.
I was devastated.
Yeah, that's it.
I was devastated. And not only that, but like when the team has the potential to win and come out on top and then your manager mismanages the team and that game in a crucial game, like win or go home, it's a little upsetting. That's why the guy's not there no more. He resigned shortly after. So
yeah, and I don't know if you know too, but there was this Moroccan girl who was recorded doing an interview, and after they lost, they interviewed her, and she's probably, I don't know her exact age, but anywhere between the age of maybe at the ballpark 8 to 12, and she was basically saying, "Oh, Ronaldo lost, you know, boo hoo, you know, Portugal airport is that way," and Ronaldo stands destroyed that girl on the internet, bro. Destroyed her to the point that apparently her mom had come out and said that she was getting bullied. She didn't want to go to school. Like all these things, man. The internet is a ruthless place, man.
Very ruthless.
The internet is a ruthless place, man. You know, yeah. Any supporter of any big celebrity sometimes, like Beyonce's another one. I would not say anything negative about Beyonce, man.
Yeah, she's a great artist.
There you go. This man is media trained. Shout out to the Beehive.
For real. I want no problems.
Yeah. And then the other,
to be Stephen A. Smith out here.
And then the other, you know, spectacle that came out of the World Cup, and obviously a lot of this stuff has already been talked about, but I think it's important that we address it, is the whole Salpe incident.
Guy's a loser.
Now, say how you normally say it, though.
Loser. That guy's such a clout chaser. But you know what I will applaud to him, though? That he pulled it off. Like, my man was holding the trophy. That's like the most sacred trophy in all of sports. And my man was sprinkling salt on that shit.
Yeah. So for the listeners that are tuning in, basically Salpe, the guy that's got media famous for sprinkling salt off his elbow on steak, somehow, some way, ended up on the pitch or the field and was taking pictures with the Argentinian players, and he was holding the trophy. And just to give the listeners some context as to how crazy that is, apparently, when I did my research on this, the FIFA Federation, the people that are only allowed to hold the World Cup trophy are presidents of the FIFA, vice presidents, former World Cup players who have won the trophy, and the current players who have won. And somehow this guy made it onto the field and took pictures holding the trophy like a thirsty fan, bro. It's nuts.
Pulled it off.
He pulled it off, man.
His followers went up.
Yeah, his followers definitely went up, man. But, you know, shout out to Saul Bay. I know he got destroyed online, but, you know, the man did what he had to do. So
I ain't shouting him out. Nah, hell
well,
no.
nah, you're not a fan?
Nah.
I hear his food is like overpriced and it's not that good either, too.
I've heard the same mixed reviews. I haven't been myself personally, so I won't comment on it. But I'm not even looking forward to going. So that conversation's done there. On to the next one. What's the next segue here?
Well, so let's talk about something important, man, because I think we've given the listeners a lot of dynamics of our personalities and character, and I think something that's always intriguing to me, which I know you kind of get upset about because you're like, again, we're going to talk about this, but I wanted to talk about failed relationships today, man.
Already?
Wow.
All right.
Yeah, failed relationships, and not only from the perspective of failed relationships from a romantic standpoint, but also failed relationships with, other friends, right? Because people grow up.
Friends in general.
Yeah, man. And, I think people change, and your friendship group as you get older starts to get a lot smaller.
I mean, you start meeting new people also. You start hanging out with different crews, different ventures, take you to different places.
Yeah.
Come across new people.
Yeah. Yeah, and sometimes you meet new people, like me and you, right? We got together, we got closer because of the podcast, even though I think we were pretty cool to begin with because you obviously cut my hair.
I used to I still lace your hair. Currently,
you still cut my hair, yeah. I remember when I was in Connecticut, I was struggling immensely because, I didn't have my boy to give me a nice cut.
There's only one of me, man, respectfully, and it's not easy.
I love how, what I love about this? How you try to remain humble.
I can't.
But you still did pretty good though, man. You still did pretty good. But I remember when I came back from Connecticut, and I think you were trying your best to not shit on the haircut that I had. So I appreciate you for that.
I don't do that no more. Yeah, thank you. No problem, man. It's my pleasure.
I appreciate you for that because I think my brother-in-law made a comment about how I was getting the military fade.
Hey. Militar.
Yo soy militar. But yeah, man. So let's talk about failed relationships, man, because I think I think that's a pretty interesting topic. So do you wanna kick us off, Jay? Do you want to talk about your first failed relationship without giving names?
Yeah. First relationship.
Wait, hold on. Before we get into this,
are we going like significant other or like friends?
Whatever. Doesn't really matter. We'll swing for the fences on this. But before we get started, though, this is for entertainment purposes only.
Absolutely.
Okay. So to the people that love us out there, please don't get mad at us.
Jay Barber that just said that, so it's on recorded line.
So what was your first relationship that failed, and why do you think it failed?
Age.
Really?
Young and wild, baby. You can't get like in a deep ass relationship like during your high school years leading into like your early college years. I think those are times that you should enjoy life respectfully and responsibly, better said, and not be tied down to one person at that age. Too much exploring going on, at that age.
It's tough, man. It's definitely tough. Like, I don't know of any couple that is still together today that met in high school outside of the exception of maybe one.
I know one, actually. One of my sisters has been with her husband since like probably like early high school.
Really?
Yeah, and they're still together now. So it's amazing.
Wow.
That's like a all-time trophy.
Yeah, nah, that's an achievement right there. I remember reading something many years ago, and I could have, I think the percentage might be off, but I think it was something to the effect of there's like more than a 50% chance of a relationship failing if you get married before the age of 25.
Hell yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
It's the same age frame I was referring to. High school until early college, you know, like those 20s.
Yeah,
late teens.
It's tough, man. I think, so one of the first relationships that I could think of was with some girl that I met online, because that was the thing back in the day. Remember with the whole screen name thing? Yes, sir.
Is this the long distance relationship that you referred to? That I made valid points to tell you that it wasn't a long distance relationship.
Yeah, that's the one that I'm referring to. Yes,
okay.
Yes. I'm going to stick to my guns on this, that even though by definition it's not long distance for a kid who is young and broke, it's long distance. But
oh man, at that time, a Poppy bus to New York was probably $2.50. So you needed $5 for a round trip.
Probably.
So
like
for people
$2.
that are not from our area, right, our region of New Jersey, Hudson County, a Poppy bus is.
That's what you called it, the Poppy bus?
Yeah, they call them the Poppy buses, the little charter buses, little Bergen Line buses, Boulevard East buses. It's a bus not affiliated with public transportation of the state, and it takes you a straight shot into the city for a flat rate of $2.50. At that time, that Mr. John Parrow was referring to it as a long distance relationship, and that he was financially in a crisis because he was young.
And since we're talking about these Poppy buses, let's talk about the layout of the Poppy buses, because they were old.
They could be rough. They could be a nice ride with AC in the middle of July, or it could be a terrible ride with no AC in the middle of July, and you got somebody sitting right next to you, and you're like this the whole time, and hoping that there's no traffic in the Lincoln Tunnel.
Yo, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. And the crazy thing too is that, so like there were certain seats that you didn't want. And I don't know if you remember
the
this.
Wheels with the wheelbase. Yes.
Yes.
I'm a tall dude. Like, my knees would be in my chest if I had to sit there.
That was when you got on the bus, you would avoid that specific seat, because to Jay's point, if you're a tall guy, your fucking knees are going to be to your chest. And then even worse is the fact that there's not enough space. So if someone sits next to you,
you're done.
You're done.
Catching a cramp.
Yeah,
in the middle of the Lincoln Tunnel.
It's a done deal. And yeah, you brought up an interesting point too, is that you'd be lucky during the middle of summer if you got one without with AC.
Yeah, sure, bro.
I've gotten into rides, man, into the city without AC in the middle of summer.
Yeah. Woo. At a certain point in my life, when I got a little older and I carried a little bit more, I had a little deeper pockets, and I could be that guy. I would, if they, I would wave them down at the bus stop, and I would step like 1 foot in the door, right, like in the steps to go in. And if I ain't hear AC, I'd be like, yo, I'm waiting for the next one. Because I was like, yo, I ain't ruining the fit, getting all sweaty, plus all the walking I got to do in New York, because you're always walking in New York, no matter how you're getting around. There's some walking involved. I was like, nah, I'll wait for the next one. Straight up.
Yeah, it's brutal. And then for the record too, this is how old these buses were. So like, you know how like in the NJ Transit buses, and I haven't been on one in years, so I'm assuming it's still the same process, but I think there's like a line or a yellow tape that you hit, and it basically signals to the driver.
That don't exist.
Nah.
Próxima.
La próxima. Which means next stop in English. And you had to shout that thing.
Yeah, if you was in the back of the bus, boy, you better get some vocals ready. You gotta shout at the driver.
Yeah, because if he did not hear you, he was gonna miss your stop. And then at that point, and then at that point, you basically had to scramble up and tell the driver, "Hey, right here, right here."
Facts. Have you ever fallen asleep in a late night Poppy bus?
Yeah,
and miss your stop and wake up in fucking 90th at James Braddock Park, Hudson County Park? Like, damn, happened to me again.
Yeah, that was always rough, man. It's just it's crazy how like if you're not from the area, you don't know what that experience is like.
I mean, but even if you're in an area where you commute with public transportation, you got to have similar stories, because You know,
For sure. Yeah. I'm sure there's something similar to that, you know? And the thing was too, bro, like, I don't even know what the law is when it comes to driving those buses. Like, do you need to have some sort of, I don't think you need a CDL, right?
you do need a certain amount of CDL because you're still carrying passengers for the knowledge, for what I know.
Gotcha.
You still got to have a specific grade class of license to carry passengers
Gotcha.
and a certain level of insurance too. But a lot of those buses are like independently owned. My bad, not to cut you off.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, like they subrent them.
Oh, that
So
makes
they work.
sense.
Yeah, that's why the drivers are so thirsty.
Yeah,
because they're working daily. They're renting the bus daily to cover the bus expense, you know, and then their profit. That's why they be going back and forth. You be seeing them on Burger Line. It's like a bull war. Bang, 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 bang.
Nah, it is. It's like beef on the road, bro. It's the craziest thing because depending
Mad
on who
road
you
rage.
get, yeah. Depending on who you get, if you got a really hungry driver, bro, like he would like cut off the next bus in front of him to try to get to the passengers.
Always park on an angle in the bus stop, blocking this one bus. Then you hear beep 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 beep. Like,
Yeah, it was
Hudson County,
crazy.
baby.
Shout out to Hudson County, man,
Yo.
but it was crazy.
Since we're on the subject, yo, do you remember before they built the light rail, like taking a bus to Newport Mall, taking the little Burger Line buses?
Yeah, that was
Yo,
a
that
long
was a ride.
bro.
Yo, that was a ride.
That was a ride, and it was only because you had to travel down Bergen Line, which, you know, for the people that are
For like 4 towns.
yeah. So how can we describe Bergen Line? I guess it's like a long road of like shopping, I guess, stores, you know, both on
like the
each
main
side,
Ave.
like the main Ave, right? But it's relatively long, so it's about, I would say, I don't know,
It runs-
maybe
Runs
4.
through like 4 or 5 towns.
Yeah,
You
so
think
it's
about
like,
it from top to bottom.
Right. So it's maybe like 5 miles. I could be wrong on the numbers, but it cuts through North Bergen, West New York, Guttenberg, Weehawken, Union City, and then at a certain point, Jersey City. At a certain point, the road starts to narrow, so it's no longer 2 ways,
Yeah, that's rough.
and it's nothing but traffic light after traffic light
At
after traffic
at
light.
every intersection, there's a traffic light.
Yes.
And they don't even run in order. They're not even synced right. You could be at a red, the next one turns green, and then the following one is yellow right away. Like, what?
Yeah.
No, like,
I did that trip once, I think, to Newport Mall on a bus.
it's terrible.
Never again.
It's terrible. The light rail was an upgrade to the next level.
Yeah. The
15
light rail,
minutes.
which the other thing too about the light rail too, and I think I went on it once, is the setup of it was weird because it wasn't like in New York where there's like a turnstile and you scan a Metro card.
Yeah,
From what I
ticket.
remember you would get a ticket outside of it, it would stamp it, you would get on the elevator, and then it would take you down, and that was it.
Yeah.
You basically just needed to have the ticket in the event if a cop was going to stop you.
They check.
Really?
The ticket, the reason they stamp it is because the ticket is valid for 2 hours. So you could hop on and off the light rail as much as you want in that 2 hour frame.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so every time you put it in, it will stamp. You hear that bing.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think I've only written the
I got a
light
ticket
rail
on the light rail,
once.
so I'm
Did you?
I'm aware. Yeah.
Wait, what happened?
I didn't stamp it.
Oh, shit.
It was
And
like,
they caught
back
you?
in the day, yeah, it was like a $60 ticket, I think, $60-$70. If I recall correctly, bro.
Yeah, that's
At that age, $70 hit, my man. That's like a
yeah.
Hey,
So, you know, since
man.
we're talking about money and you know, being young and, you know, the
young
fact
and broke.
that young and broke, you know, and I know we kind of veered off topic here a little bit, but you know, I think just so that the listeners understand the journey of what it was like for me to travel from West New York into the Poppy bus, into Port Authority, and then get on a train. I would typically take the 1, or was it the 1? Yeah, it was the 1 or 2 train uptown, and I would meet this girl on 115th and 5th Ave, which was about maybe 2 blocks away from Spanish Harlem.
Yeah, this is his long distance relationship.
This was my long distance relationship at the age of 17. And this was one of my first long relationships where I was with this girl on and off for about 4 to 5 years before she moved to Miami, which I, you know, had corrected myself, I believe, on 2 episodes ago in season 1. And it became long distance. But I learned a lot though, man. I learned, 1, to your point, Jay, that when you're young, when
I
you're
don't even know
young,
what you're about to say, but it's just you're leading up to it is making me laugh, so I'm just gonna laugh regardless.
when you're young, man, I think in certain cases you're probably not meant to be in a serious relationship, man.
Yeah, bro. Speaking from experience,
Yeah,
man, like,
dude.
it's not it.
You know what's crazy too, man? But I remember I was with this girl for about maybe 3 years at this point, and the relationship started to kind of take a nosedive for the worse. You know, and it was a weird dynamic too, because it was sort of like her mom allowed me to sleep over.
Well, I'm sure her mom let you sleep over because you were traveling from so far away.
Yeah,
So
man.
she felt bad for your commute since it was a long distance relationship.
Yeah, but you're talking about two young kids. You know what's crazy?
That's on the parents' fault, B. Ain't no kid sleeping over my house with my daughter. You bugging.
What if they're traveling from out of state?
Nigga, I'll buy you a hotel room for the night, dog. You sleep over there, you come here in the morning.
Well, so it's crazy because her mom used to booby trap her room. So like before she would, yeah. So before, oh, we have a Jay Barber moment right here.
Just be careful what we're getting into here.
No, we're good. We're good. Don't worry about it. We're not gonna get into anything crazy. But okay. This is season 2, Jay. Season 2. We're unfiltered.
I'm not trying to swing for the fences right now.
No. I'm trying to dial it back. You know, I get called out about that sometimes.
You be blacking out on the air, bro. You be forgetting.
I do. No. You know, but no. I know what I'm doing here, Jay. This is, you know, we're good. We're good. I'm not gonna make
my
any.
Bad. That's my bad. I stepped on your shoes. My bad.
No, it's good. You're you know, you're that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to keep me in check.
The McVay.
Yeah, the McVay. The McVay, making sure I don't step out of the sideline. So I appreciate you for that. But nah, yeah, she used to booby trap the room, and she would just like put like cans or something like that. So like if she went past a certain distance that was beyond the bathroom to where I was at, it would make a noise. And this was before Ring cameras and stuff like that. So
Dominican moms don't play. Was she Dominican?
Nah, she was Venezuelan.
They don't play. They Spanish. They smart.
Yeah, it was some crazy stuff, man. But yeah, that's when it kind of hit me, you know, as I got older. I'm like, yo, to your point, Jay, if I ever have a daughter, and there ain't gonna be no sleepovers in my house, bro.
Sleeping in the Motel 6.
The Motel 6, damn.
You got security there.
Fair. But I remember, man, around like the 3-year mark, though, like things were just like, it was going terrible. Like it just wasn't, you know, you're young. And I think she wanted to kind of experiment too. And I think there was some shady shit that was going on from her side. And, you know, I remember I met some girl at my, at the job where I was at the time, which was A&P, which is no longer in business.
Bagging groceries.
Yo,
that's similar to Bad Bunny's story.
Oh, was it really?
Maybe you could become like a hip pop artist like he did.
Hey, you never know.
JP without the glasses.
JP without the glasses. Album drop in 2024. Let's go. And I'm joking. I'm not dropping any albums. No, but you know, I remember meeting some girl, this Italian girl too, and I think one of the difficult things about the relationship that I had with the Venezuelan girl, the girl that lived in New York, was that her mom at the time never thought that I was going to be enough for her daughter, because I was at the point where I was getting ready to graduate high school, but I didn't want to go to college.
And you told her that.
Yeah, and her mom would tell the daughter,
You said too much.
You're talking about me being with this person for 4 years. You got to take me for who I am at that point, you know? But the mom would tell the daughter, I don't want you to be with him, as good of a guy as he is, because he has no future. That's
pretty harsh to say to an 18-year-old.
Yeah. But,
or even about an 18-year-old. Like, damn, yo.
But that was
chill, B.
Yeah, but that was the communication, you know? So like it was sort of like, you know,
back started to hurt.
Yeah, my back started. At age, baby, 34. Got to stretch that back out. No, but like, you know, I think I think, that really impacted her thought process about the entire relationship. So, she would tell me at one point, like, I don't know if this is going to be long term because you don't really want to go to school. And, at the time it was going through this entire process, and I had met some girl at work who was super chill. I was going to go to technical school at the time. She supported it. She's like, oh, it's dope. That's cool. And, at one point I had the opportunity to kind of do the right thing. Well, the right thing for myself, which would have been to end the relationship and try something new with this new girl. But I chose not to.
And why not?
Because I'm fucking dumb.
Not supposed to make life-changing decisions at that age.
Yeah,
So
because I was fucking dumb. But so obviously the things with the girl at work never went anywhere because I didn't want to pull the trigger. I was with somebody, and needless to say, my relationship with this person, the New York girl, ended up ending like about 2 months later. But the interesting thing about that, man, is that in certain cases, relationships make you a better person because they motivate you to do better.
Hell yeah.
Right?
I jumped into a gym after a breakup for like 2 years.
There you
That's
go.
shaping my life.
There you go.
I still never been to that level of fit ever again.
But that happens though. So like when I was finishing technical school, that shit always stayed in the back of my mind. Like, oh, you're not good enough. You're not good enough. So I took a job repairing trains, and I did that for about 2 years. But that thought stayed in my head, bro. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go back to school.
Wait, you were a train mechanic?
I was a train mechanic. Yes, sir.
Like a real train?
Like a real train. I mean, I wasn't fixing. So that they're actually called, the actual engine is called like a power. That's what we used to call it back in the day. And this was back like in 2019. Jay's looking at me crazy.
I'm pretty sure it's still called a power. If
I don't know if things change. That's what we called it.
On a train?
Yeah, they called it like the thing that pulled the carts. The actual engine itself was called the power.
I'm pretty sure it's still the same thing.
Let's hope so. So
let's talk about that job experience. How was that?
What that was like? That shit was crazy, bro. I was 19 at the time, working 12-hour shifts.
There you go.
Yeah. Sunday through Wednesday. So I was off, Thursday, Friday, bad. Saturday. No, it's not too bad.
You had 3 days? You worked 4 days. You had a 4-day week.
But week. Let's take it a step back,
bro.
though.
Here we go.
Let's take it a step back, my guy. Hold on.
12-hour days for 4 days.
Hold on. Rain.
Oh, here we go.
Summer. Snow.
Winter.
Hurricane. Tornado.
Shit,
I was outside grinding. Yeah, no, I mean, it definitely did. It definitely did. And it was an interesting time.
What was the pay like for all that day you had to be like put up with? What was the pay like? Was it worth it?
Oh, how much do you think a job like that would pay you, Jay? Roughly.
What year was this?
We're talking about 2009.
$18 an hour.
Nah, fam.
Not even close?
Not even close.
Less?
Less.
Oh, that's fucking blood work, bro. That's nah, chill. How much?
My starting pay was $12.40 an hour.
You picked the wrong job, dude.
$12.40 an hour.
Nah, that's rough.
Which I guess if you would adjust for like inflation, and I'm terrible at math, so I'm going to ballpark this. I would assume that today is probably the equivalent of what, maybe $17, $18 an hour?
Maybe.
Still
a lot of work for that.
Yeah.
That job sounded important.
Nah, it wasn't. I basically would just walk up and down. So the road, the tracks were about maybe a mile long, and basically my job was an inspector. So we would walk down the cars, and I had my colleague on the other side, or my coworker, and we would check for shit. Like, the brakes are broken. So we would mark it with chalk on the train to let the repairman know that had to be fixed.
Oh, so you didn't do no repairs?
No, I did do repairs because this is bullshit.
What repairs? You just say you marked it with chalk.
Right. Let me finish my story though. Goddamn.
We out here season 2, baby.
Jay's waiting to just fucking shit on me. No. So I had this shitty job because once we were done inspecting, I had to then go on a repair truck and help the repairman fix shit.
There you go.
Fam.
Boy, that's how you
Yeah.
learn.
Yeah. But that job motivated me to go back to school, bro. So the funny thing was, and this is why life is crazy, I ended up finishing college before she did.
Fucking applause to you, bro.
You know, pat myself on the back, right? Let's go, baby. Let's go. Let's fucking go. And I remember when
Did you send her an invite to the graduation? Sorry.
Nah, I fucking should have though, right?
That would have been a good move.
Yeah, well, you know what's
Should have
funny
sent 2 tickets, one for her, and one for her mom.
You know what's crazy? She ended up telling her mom too that ended up graduating, and she wanted to, you know, that lady wanted to speak to me. I think she found my number and like messaged me on WhatsApp, and she's like, you know, I want to talk to you and, you know, just congratulate you on everything that you've done. I left that lady on red, bro.
Attaboy.
I left that lady on red, bro.
That's right.
You know?
It was still open when the message was sent.
Yeah. Nah, but shout out to that lady though, man, because for what it's worth, I think she gave me that extra push to prove
Kicked you in
somebody
the
wrong.
ass.
Yeah, man, you need that sometimes. You know? You need that sometimes, bro. There's really only 2 things that you could do when you know when your back is against the wall, right? You either fucking complain about it and accept your situation, or you do something about it.
Attaboy.
You know?
JP said it best.
So the comeback was real, and I remember visiting her maybe like the 4th year when she was in Miami. I went down there and I stayed in her dorm room for like a week, and she was doing so bad to the point that she was on academic probation, which basically means that if your GPA falls under a certain score, if you don't bring it up,
You're done.
you're done.
Done.
That's what happens when you shit on people.
Another
Yeah.
statistic.
Yeah.
Your daughter couldn't get through. I'm coming to her. I'm not trying to.
Yeah, no, it's all good, man. You know, season 2. Season 2. It's a different breed, man. So what about you, Jay? Anything to that effect, man? Because I know you had a pretty, you know, tough upbringing too, man.
Yeah, bro. Mine was more with a job, you know, and the career that I'm in currently. I went through a little dark patch in life where it wasn't hireable, and people wouldn't open the doors for me as an opportunity. I say that reference to work at barbershops for a certain point in life, and then when I made the comeback, I worked in a shop for about a year after taking like 2 years off from the barbershop. And like 5 months into that job or working at that barbershop, I decided to enroll in cosmetology school and really take my craft to the next level and professionalizing my craft, my skill set, and getting my my cosmetology license for the state of New Jersey. Holla.
That's my boy. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go, baby. Let's
And
go.
then, you know, of course, not humble Jay. When he graduated, I went out there and I picked where I wanted to work with my stipulations and what I wanted. So you know what I'm saying.
So let me ask you something. What's typically the reaction, you know, back in the day when you were a barber and you would meet somebody and they would ask you, what do you do for a living? And you would say, I'm a barber. Are they supportive?
Like strangers that you'd meet like at a bar, for example, or something?
Yeah,
like
or
that?
just like females in general?
Oh, females, you know, again, this is for entertainment purposes only. Females loved it.
Really?
Yeah. Yo, barber life is different, bro.
What is it? So let me ask you, what do you think it is about that barber life that women found appealing? Was it the fast cash?
Absolutely. Not saying that women are like, you know, thirsty for money or anything, but it was dope because I could go places, you know, on my own funds, you know, make my own decisions in a sense. You know, had a car at a young age. I was driving to school senior year, bro, to high school. Like,
Shush.
you know,
What was the whip at the time?
the Civic, baby, 95.
Let's go.
A coupe, a 2-door with a sunroof, no AC in the middle of July. Let's go.
How many miles did that car have?
So funny enough, right? At that time, and it's still a hobby of mine. It was part of what they call the Honda game. It's still called that now. You know, it's kind of like the street car racing. So it was a Honda Civic in 95 Honda Civic in year 2006, I'd say. So it's probably like a 10, 11-year-old car, right?
Yeah.
Do the math.
Mm-hmm.
The body itself had miles, but it didn't have the original motor in it. So it was kind of hard to tell, when you're in that scene and how that works.
Yeah, because that was like the thing growing up too, right? You had like your Honda kids that would basically swap the motors out and stuff like that.
I'm gonna send you a picture, and we're going on the screen, and then we're gonna make it go away.
All right,
so people could see what it was. I'm very proud of that car. That car, like, although it got me in a lot of trouble, that car has a spot in my heart. Like, I love that car. To this day, I still love that car.
Till this day.
Yeah.
Till this day.
I mean, it's a hobby that I'm very active in it still. I just currently like started a project again to build a little Honda Civic that I have. This one's a 91. So I went a little older for people that don't know about Hondas. Different body style, or better said, it's a different generation of the car. So it's a completely different style. Because like every couple years, the body style changes, which is also equal to like generations. They call them like 7th gen, 2nd gen. They go by numbers.
Yeah, and there's like certain body types that are more sought after than others, right?
100, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. So you were driving around in a Civic to high school your senior year.
Yeah. Even like summer junior year. I think I picked it up towards later junior year.
And that was the thing too, because like, for a lot of us, it wasn't like we had the opportunity to, it wasn't like our parents were like, we're going to get you a brand new car of the year or anything like that. It was typically, yeah. Yeah, it was typically you had to work for it and get your own car and stuff like that, man. But besides that though, Jay, any other failed relationships that you might have had? Because I know you've been through a lot of shit, and I know some of this is going to take some time for you to open up for the people. So we're going to do this in sessions. But any friends that you've lost over the years that you no longer talk to, and why?
I don't know. Some relationships, I don't even know the why to it. Some relationships just faded away, and neither party's made an attempt to talk about it or like, try to talk about what's going on, and it kind of sailed away. And you learn to live with that. You're okay with it. I'm okay with it.
Is there one that bothered you at the time when it happened?
Of course.
Yeah.
There's people that I grew up with or friends that I've had that, we share a lot of experiences, memories. We've done some fun shit. We've done some dumb shit, so it's always a memory that's there. But like it is what it is at this point.
Yeah. It's crazy. Like I look back at that sometimes, and when I was in high school, I used to roll deep, bro. We used to have a big crew that used to just chill.
How many would you say?
If I had to ballpark?
When you say something, sometimes I question it.
You got to question me. That's fair.
Yeah, your
that's
references
what you're supposed to do.
Be a little off sometimes.
Nah, that's fair. I mean, that's what you're supposed to do.
So what's a big crew in your eyes?
So I would say we used to roll with like 10 or 15 people.
Oh, that's a soccer team, bro. That's pretty. Yeah. You definitely pulled up to the field and said, "Let's run 5-on-5s." Yeah. with a whole team, with a whole third team waiting. Come on.
I used to roll with a big crew, man, and we used to.
That's a lot of drama.
It was, yeah. It was, man. A lot of shady shit used to happen, which you find out about later and stuff like that. But yeah, it used to be like a crew of 10 to 15 people, and we would link up at the Wendy's in Tunnelly. If you remember that spot, the 1 and 9, yeah.
Where?
The one by
on 88th by Walmart?
Yes.
It's still there.
Yeah. Yeah. We used to link up there, and then we would just, go to somebody's house afterwards, or we would go to someone's crib and then meet there afterwards and then just chill. But yeah, a lot of friends, man. I think in a lot of cases too, people, what's that Nas line? Best friends become strangers.
Yeah, bro. People grow out of it.
Yeah, people grow out of it. The craziest one too was, you start to realize that a lot of people, for the most part, it's just words, right? In
what sense? Please, like enlighten us.
Well, I'll give you a comparison. And I know you're a big fan of this man. I know you're a big fan of his. I know you like his music.
Who are we talking about here?
We're talking about Gunna, man.
I'm a little damn. Now that you bring that up.
We talking about Gunna. So for the people that don't know, and you know more about that crew than I do, because I don't really listen to the music like that.
Apparently, I thought I knew about that crew. crew a little different nowadays.
So I guess he's a rapper that's part of, what is it, the YSL crew? Is that what they're called?
Yes.
And, you know, the main guy of that crew is Young Thug, who's like this ultra popular guy. And I think he recently got jammed for some RICO charges, if I'm not mistaken. And I was watching a reel on Facebook the other day where they were playing a Gunna clip and one of the songs, and I'm paraphrasing here, but he was saying something about to the effect of, "I'd rather die than snitch on my boy," or something like that.
You know, everybody's gangster till they're sitting in front of a judge that has their life in the palm of their hands, basically.
Yeah.
You know, so that's all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to comment on Gunna. I'm a little disappointed as a fan.
And I believe he cooperated with police to reduce his sentence and snitched on his boy, Young Thug.
Yep.
You know? So my situation wasn't to that effect because it didn't involve any courts or anything like that, but I got jumped once, Jay.
Now, how does Nice JP find himself in this predicament? That,
you know what it is, man?
Was it by your friends? Like with some of your friends?
Yeah, because I'm ride or die. You know? If my boys get into it, I got to get into it. So
did you take your glasses off before you like went?
I didn't have glasses at the time. No, I didn't have glasses.
Before you made your charge?
Nah, I didn't have glasses at the time. But basically what ended up happening was one of my boys used to have a habit of just picking fights with random people for no fucking reason.
Oh, he was one of those?
He was one of those. Yeah. We were at the McDonald's down in 32nd Street?
It's not even your zone, bro. Why are you even out there? It's not your area. That was already starting. Was the only one. That's not the only McDonald's in our area, bro.
That was the McDonald's. The only McDonald's that was open that late.
Oh, the one on Kennedy.
The one on Kennedy.
Street?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a staple in the Hudson County area.
That was a staple. So
I've experienced some shit in that parking lot myself.
Oh, fuck. You want to talk about it?
No, I don't. I don't want to bring that story up. That story's staying in the archives.
All right. We'll bring that bad boy out one time. But
never.
But yeah, so like basically what ended up happening was my boy was starting some shit with a group of dudes that were from Union City, and
of course,
because that's what he does.
From West New York, son.
And I wasn't, I wasn't really paying much mind to it. But I guess basically what ended up happening was I think one of them ended up like pushing his girl or something like that back, and she was cool. She was part of the crew, so I intervened and I said a couple things, and before I knew it, I got punched in the face, Jay. And then I had a bunch of dudes on top of me, man.
Yo. Fucking laughing at your pain, bro. What a friend.
Yeah. I mean, it's all good, though. It's funny when you look back at it, but,
glad you're okay, obviously.
I'm fine. Yeah. You live and you learn. But my boy at the time, who I thought was my boy, you know what he did, Jay?
He ran the other way.
Worse. He just stood there and watched.
No, that's not your boy. That's not your friend.
Yeah, he just stood there and watched, my guy. So, yeah. So needless to say, when I got up and stuff, and they got me pretty good. I was like bleeding and stuff, and I was like, I was mad at him. I'm like, yo, where the fuck were you?
I was over here, man.
Well,
I was supervising.
And this is the other dynamic about growing up in West New York is a lot of my friends at the time, were undocumented. So, so his response was basically, oh, well, I have no papers. I wasn't trying to get in trouble. Shut the fuck up.
I kind of understand him, though, to a certain extent.
Nah, bro. Nah. Get your licks in, man. Like, do something. At least, like, yo, if you don't want to fight somebody respectable, fine, I get it. But pull somebody back, hold somebody back. You don't want your boy get beat.
If you grab someone that that someone on his team going to come and swing at you. So
I don't know, Jay. We could agree to disagree on that one.
Have you accepted it already though? Have you moved forward?
I've moved on, of course. This happened a long time ago.
So
I've moved
That's
on,
good.
But we're talking about failed relationships here, and why
that was definitely on the failed list.
Yeah. That was that was when you learned basically that not everybody's your friend.
Absolutely.
So yeah, Jay, I think that's pretty much it, man. First season, not first season, but second season, first episode back. You know, we got a couple of
I have
people.
I have a question here.
Yeah.
Before we get into what's coming, what's in the upcoming episodes,
Yes.
is there any little small resolutions, being that it's the theme in January? Is there any resolutions for the new year that you want to speak of or maybe share with us, and we could chime in a little bit about that?
Nah, man. You know what it is? Like, I try not to make any resolutions because I feel like it's sort of like you set yourself up for failure, where it's sort of like you're just doing this because, you know, it's that time and you're trying to better yourself. So I just go in it and I just try to be a better human being, man. You know, I've been working out, trying to do that consistently.
You're working out.
Yeah.
I've started that too. You know,
but that was before, though, the new year, though.
Yeah,
right?
I try to. So in my mindset coming into this, probably like my 8th journey of working out again, with all my experiences and failed experiences, I said I was gonna approach this one differently, and I wanted it so that for the new year, I started early November because by New Year's, I set out that I wanted it to be a routine already. I wanted it to be part of my everyday routine, and I'm successful at that part because working out for me in the wintertime is very easy. When I lose it is usually during like spring, summertime, because everybody's outside and, you know, we need the sun. Well, I completely forget about the gym.
It's tough too, man, because you got a lot of responsibilities. You got 2 kids, you know, you got a car business that you're running too. Shout out to
SNL Car Rentals.
There you go.
SNL Car Rentals.
There you go.
We're here.
You're a full-time barber, full-time dad. It's tough, man, to squeeze time into which for the record, man, it's one thing I admire about you, bro. You don't make excuses.
I can't, bro. Why make excuses?
There's a lot of people that make excuses.
A lot of people have an asshole too.
Excuses are like assholes. Everyone has one.
Yeah, the boy. That's right.
Dropping bars today, boy.
Bars.
But yeah, man, season 2, we're back. You know, we're working on getting you guys.
Let's give them a little teaser for season 2, bro. I'm okay to talk about it if you want to talk about it. I'm excited.
You know what it is, man? Here's the thing about that, right? So I was talking to somebody about, you know, the guests that we potentially have coming up. And, you know, she was like, oh, like, why don't you sound excited? And I'm like Kobe, job's not done.
Job's not done. That's right.
Job's not done. You know, until we finally get this person on.
So there's a third screen in my studio right here. Shout out to Riverside, doing a great job for us. But until there's a third screen, you know, we're not excited about the accomplishment, you know?
No. So, you know, we'll see, you know, we'll see what happens, because this was somebody that, you know what, let's not even get into that.
New Year season 2. We're excited for the guests
season 2
that we have potentially coming onto the show. You know, we're working very hard behind the scenes to build this show, make it entertaining, bring good content to the streets, because, you know, there's room for everybody out there. And,
Facts.
You know?
Facts. So stay tuned, people. You know, we're going to be hopefully bringing you some entertaining guests for season 2. And obviously from time to time, you know, we'll chime in and we'll do our thing. Jay, I think the listeners like to see and hear us talk about, you know, the stuff that's going on in our world. So
yeah, I'm excited. You know, we after season 1, JP and I, we sat down at the table. You know, we brainstormed. We talked about what we learned, what we did wrong, and we're excited. You know, we learned a lot. We grew a lot. And for season 2, we have more structure. You know, we have more of an idea where we want to go with the show. So we're excited to bring that to you guys.
Yes, sir. So in the meantime, people, I hope you enjoyed the new intro and the new outro.
You know, soon.
Coming soon.
Still waiting, Kazi.
Yeah, Kazi, what's going on, man? We're
about to call him. We're about to phone a friend right now.
Yeah, we need we need that outro sooner rather than later, my guy. But you know, that's a conversation for offline.
Yeah. So he's good. Shout out to Kazi.
Yeah, shout out to Kazi.
Our guy behind the scenes. He's on the boards.
But yeah, man. So episode 1, we're back. Done. So for the people tuning in, we appreciate you as always. You know, Jay the Barber. Damn, I fucked up. Damn, I'm already fucking up.
We're gonna hear a beep in this moment right here. 54 minutes and 40 seconds. There's gonna be a beep. We're gonna leave it because we got to teach this guy a lesson. That name is done here. It's Jay Barber.
Jay Barber. I'm sorry. My
Thank you.
apologies, sir. Jay
Apology
Barber.
accepted.
I was doing good too. I'm surprised that I fucked up towards the end.
It's all right. We
It
just came
out.
back. We just came back, bro.
Yeah, it's all good. We're working out the kinks. For the people that are listening, we appreciate you as always. Make sure to what, Jay?
Rise up, folks.
That's right. Make sure to rise up. Until next time, peace.
Peace.